Frank, Johnny, Brian. Get off the lawnmower. I hear you. How's the lawn looking, Darius? Little Rich, what's up? I gotta put fins on Hinkles. Hello, Daryl. What's new? Which one should I start with? I got a lot. Hella, why are you not fishing today? You trying to get disqualified? Or are you done? All right, give me a little mat out so I can. These are a task. I do live, Builder Dude. I have a story about this little jewel. So, $60. I'm flat rate, Johnny, for swim bait paint. I've talked about it before, but back in the day, I was getting hosed, charging by the inch, which some people do. I did for a while until I wised up because it made sense in the beginning, because in the early days of swim baiting, the whole purpose was to catch the biggest fish in the lake. So swim baits were large. So 6 inches was a small swim bait. So you'd typically get $40 a bait. Well, then as popularity began to increase with swim baits, they began to shrink in size. And when that happened, I would have people sending me 4-inch baits or whatever that was jointed, and that fell into the swim bait world. You had to deal with the joint and rigging it up to paint it and all that kind of stuff. And if you charge by the inch, you're only getting like $20 to paint it. And it was not that much difference in painting a 6-inch bait. So I said, well, this doesn't make any sense. I don't want to do these for nothing. Well, then people would send me like a 10-inch bait, and I didn't want to charge them $80 for that, because I felt like that was kind of out of what I wanted to charge. I didn't think it was maybe appropriate pricing by the inch. So I just did a flat rate, and that kind of made more sense for me. Darius, what's the night report? This dude dropped some coin. Feller likes his swim baits. Feller likes his hinkles. All right. I should probably not do these while I talk because I'm very liable to screw something up. And all the hard work is done, and I would probably not like to. I'll just do this. I do like the trouts because the trouts it's not sticking very good. I'm going Monday night. Once that's pretty good, but you got to move around a lot. That's interesting. Why is this not sticking? Why is this not sticking? Huh. This is weird. What if I have to sand my joint? I'll just get clear coat in it or something. Why is this not sticking? What the heck is going on? I don't know that I've ever had this happen. What in the heck is going on? Have y'all ever heard of super glue not sticking? Weird. So MLF was supposed to be on the St. Lawrence last week, right? I don't know. Hello, Bert. What's happening? Hello, Bobby. Oh. The fish on the ledges are starting to bust up. Yeah, that's typically what happens here. June is an awesome ledge month. 1st of July, it's good, but the farther it gets into July, the fish start breaking up and they scatter out. And I don't really know exactly where they go. Some of them go shallow, some of them go follow shad, some of them break up. They just get all over the place. It's pretty obnoxious. Well, there we go. I guess that's going to hold. All right. Pretty weird though. I've never experienced that. Where do you think they go, Darius? Because August is typically a pretty good shallow month. Hinkles. Brendan Hinkles. Does that look like a trout? It certainly does. When you hold it up from a distance, like that looks like a damn taxidermy trout. Let's wait till I get an eye in it. Let's do that. Let's stick an eye in this piece. I will say this guy's paint jobs on his Hinkles are exquisite. I'm a big fan. After I got done, I was like, man, those are badass. Those are badass, broski. Come on, you dick. All right, let me put this fin in, then we can look. Whose are they? Some dude that sent them to me. I don't know. But yeah, this was my Texas stalker color. So it's got a lot more gold and orange and yellows in it that you would typically see in like a regular stock trout. But it looks pretty damn delicious. It actually looked better without the eye. The eye looks kind of dumb. If I were selling these, I would not sell them with that eye. Because in my opinion, this eye looks dead. If you want my opinion, and the eye doesn't fit in the eye hole. Go figure. It looks okay like that. It still looks kind of dead. Doesn't look alive. It needs something. I'm not touching it though. This bastard's done. That's not my job anymore. Oh, the spot. Yeah, so I was out fishing over the 4th of July and I wasn't able to fish. The window of time that I was able to get out and fish was between 1 and 3 in the afternoon, because that's when the kids went to sleep, take a nap. So that's when Dad would take the boat out on solo missions. So I had an hour and a half, 2 hour window to go fish. Well, I drove up the river, and I was gonna check this this river spot. It's kind of like just a river bar. So I'm gonna pull up and check this. And I went way up on the north end of it to see if there was any trees or trash or anything. I didn't see anything, and I turned around. So I'm not gonna fish there. It didn't feel right. It didn't look right. So I left. I went down the river. So I'm gonna fish. I'm gonna fish this bar, and but I'm not gonna stop where I usually stop. I'm gonna stop up ahead and work my way down to it, because there used to be a little juicy spot that was kind of off the bank, off the main juice that not everybody realized. Well, anyway, I stopped up there, and water was super clear for the river. And on the 4th of July, it's usually the riverbanks are muddied up, but they look pretty good. And I stopped and I pulled out my tester of the scales. This was my test bait that I wanted to see how it worked. So I'll pull up and I'm going down the bank and I'm throwing that. And this, I've pretty much caught every fish I've caught up to this point on that bait. So I pull up, I'm going down the bank, and there's a little white spot, just like a little sandy spot on the bank. And the boat's probably sitting in 17 feet of water. and I'm probably a pitch and a half away from the bank, and I see a shad coming to the top, and a spot's chasing behind it, and I guess he missed. So I said, "Ooh." So I throw my crankbait over there, and I see the spot just kind of like cruising down there, and he's not really doing anything. It's like he wasn't chasing after the shad again. I guess he lost wherever it went. And so I throw my crankbait over there, and the fish is going this way, and the crankbait's behind him. Well, the crankbait comes down, the fish busts a U-turn, and just T-bones said plug. Well, I hooked the fish. I was like, oh, fun. Well, then I look down in the water, and I see a bigger one underneath it. I said, ooh, even better. Click the button, let out a little line, and let him go down a little bit. And he goes down. Click the reel, start raising him up. There's a effing 6-pound largemouth stuck to the damn side of this spot's face. And the largemouth has this hook, and the spot has the back hook, and they're pinned. And I bring them up, and I'm just looking at them. I'm like, holy shit, that's a damn big one. And I don't have a net, and I don't have really a good way of getting to these fish. So I just kind of sat there and awe and watched them, looked at them. And then the largemouth started flopping around, and that one came off. The big one came off. I got flipped a little spot in the boat. But that was probably the highlight bite of the trip. It was pretty badass. The other highlight was that my dad's boat, which I was fishing out of, it has a front pedestal for chairs like most boats do. And his had been underwater, so the front pedestal post was like rusted, and I'd taken a torch to it, pipe wrench. We never could, like, penetrating oil, soaked it in penetrating oil, heated it up, torque wrench or a pipe wrench, like a big massive one with a cheater bar on it. We never could get it to move. So there's always been either a pole or a chair up front, which bothers the shit out of me. I can't stand fishing with a chair or a pole. Well, so I fished like 3 days. The first day I fished with the chair and just stood up in front of the chair, which was not fun. Well, then I said, well, I'll just take the chair out and fish around the pole. So I took the chair out and fished with the pole between my legs. Well, then I was driving the boat, and I looked down one day, and I said, that pole looks new. And I went up there and twisted it, and it was a brand new pole. He had put a new post and the whole bracketry in there. And I took the pole out, and I was able to fish one day with a clean front deck with no pole. But the day I had the big one and the spot on it once, I had the pole sticking up, so I couldn't like get down real fast, or I'd have got a pole up my ass. So I just kind of sat there and watched, but I was okay with that. I was okay. Picture would have been nice, but are these the same or different? Are these the same or different? Yeah, I've had fives. I've had a 5 double before. Not 2 5s, but a 5 and a smaller one. But I've never had a fish this size like chase down a fish out of a chase down a bait out of a fish's mouth. It was pretty badass. And that it was a spot, like it was a big largemouth hanging out with a spot. That was kind of cool. But I'm excited for everybody who got one of these to get out and throw it, because honestly, I've never had the opportunity to throw the crack color on anything other than a Lucky Craft. So when you pair that with the Bernsey, like they bit the shit out of that Bagley, the Bernsey's even better. So it's gonna be good. You got to get out of those private lakes and ponds, BBC. Get out there in the real world. Get out there in the real world, bro. Burns, have you heard my sexy shad story? It's pretty wild. Speaking of doubles, first time I ever bought a sexy shad crankbait, it was summertime, and I took it out to a river ledge. In the first cast, I caught a spotted bass and a spotted bass, one on the front hook, one on the back hook, doubled up. So I flipped them in the boat, and I was like, well, that was awesome. Way to go, sexy shad. So the next one, the next cast, I threw back out there, and I caught a largemouth and a spot, a double. Brought them in and thought, that's awesome. Way to go, sexy shad. So the third cast I threw out there, I caught a largemouth and a spot. So I had 3 doubles in a row. The first 3 casts I ever made with a Series 5 sexy shad crankbait. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. All right, I guess I'm gonna put these bottom ones on to validate my claims. The problem with my claims is that those were most definitely just like random fish that were just following bait. Like there was no reason for those fish to be there, because everything else, all the other fish were on a very specific pattern that I was catching, and those fish were like not part of it. Hella was on here, Bobby. Must not be doing good. What's up, JP? Yeah, the fourth bump's a little more. Good crank. I like the 4 a lot. I like the 4 a lot. All right. Hinkle complete. Oh, I guess I got to put these stupid. Oh, I hate these things, dude. Hate these things. Where's my little presser inner? This is the worst part. Trying to get these dang gills in. Because you got to do it quick. Otherwise, your damn thing gets stuck. Damn hinkles. All right, now we've got red gills and a dead eye. Try not to touch anything because there's wet super glue on it, and I have stuck my fingers to these, and I'm not trying to do that today and go and do a touch-up paint job. So we'll just hang it like this. All right. Number 2. Number 2. Driving home. What was did you have fun, Hella? I won't ask you too many questions because I'm sure you'll go over it in your driving, but did you enjoy your experience? Full weekend off in PA, hanging out in the truck. That doesn't sound too terrible. 100% enjoyed it. Good. Yeah, I need to drive. What time is it? 1:30. I got time. I'll get all these spins in and then I'll get out of here. Because I got to go test a bait for Birdsey. I got to go bait testing. See if these are going to stick. Do you carry a pole in your truck, Johnny? No, JP, not yet. Maybe next week. Now this one stuck perfect. Weird. Weird. All right. Get all these other stupid little fins. I hate these things. I like painting them, but it's so easy with dealing with super glue and finished products to dick up a bait that I just don't. I don't like it. I've messed up so many baits with super glue trying to glue fins on after the fact. Where does this one go? Up here, I guess. That one's different. Yeah, that one goes there. The other one had 2 of the same fin. This one has different ones. What's next? Which one do I choose next? This top one. What'd y'all do over the 4th? The Bean ripped some. She ripped some bluegill. That was fun. That was fun watching her rip brim. After she ripped about 6 little brims, she was ready for something else. She wanted to know where the She wanted to know where the drum were because my dad caught a drum, and she said, "I want to catch a drum." Okay, I don't really know how to target a drum, but we can try. She never got her drum though, unfortunately. She got catfish and bluegill. I need to put this down, but I don't want it to stick to something. What about this plastic? I got a piece of stuff on here. All right. There we go. Where's the little baby one? We had to help a guy get out of the river, hit hard tubing behind a boat, and ruptured his spleen. Ugh. That sounds awful. Ruptured spleen. No thanks. I don't like the water sports personally. Maybe it's the fisherman in me. I'm more into just fishing. I don't like getting on the water and doing other things. Haven't fished in almost a month. You're not missing anything, Bobby. It's like the worst time of year. I don't know. September's pretty terrible. August is pretty fun. Everyone on the boat was freaking out. I had to get and his wife had his head still. Dang. I saw a dude's finger get chopped off. Did I tell you all about that? I think I told you all about that. We were skiing. We weren't. I wasn't skiing. I don't ski. But I probably could have eliminated this guy getting. I could partially be to blame for this guy losing his finger. But anyway, buddy of mine had a ski boat, and they were down at the beach. And my other buddy was friends with. Like I wasn't super close with the guy who had the boat, but I knew him. Like we were close enough friends. I don't know, friends, acquaintances, whatever. But he had a boat, and he invited my other buddies to go on the boat skiing. So I got kind of brought along. Anyway, he wanted to ski, needed somebody to drive his boat so he could ski. Looked around, they said, "Does anybody know how to drive a boat?" Mm-mm. I've been driving a boat since I was 12 years old. I was 100% the best boat driver in the boat. I said, I don't think I want to drive. My other buddy said, "I'll drive." Okay, this can't be that bad. So anyway, guy gets on the rope. He's skiing, and he starts doing something obviously incredibly dumb. He starts pulling himself up the rope while he's skiing. Well, the guy driving slows down and then accelerates. So when he does that, when he accelerates, it pulls the line tight, and it was wrapped around his finger, and it popped the end of his finger off. So he's out there having a good old time, floundering around, screaming in agony. We're like, what's wrong with this guy? So we kind of think he's like dicking around. So we finally go back. We like circle around to him to pick him up. and he swims up to the back of the boat, and he throws his bloody, grubby finger up on the back of the boat, and we all go, "Ugh, chopped your finger off." So we went back to the boat ramp. I ended up putting the boat on the trailer. They took him to the hospital, but it was pretty gross. That's good, Darius. The river's bouncing back from the drought. Good, catching 30 to 40 fish a trip. That's pretty good. What's the bait of choice, Tyler, for catching 30 to 40 fish on the river? Pitching? All right, let's do some eyeballs. I have another funny bait that I can show y'all that I got amusement out of. It's a ripoff of a ripoff of a ripoff. It's a ripoff of a ripoff of a ripoff. It's 3 generations of ripoffs. Let me get these eyes and gills in, and I will show you what I'm talking about. Three levels of ripoff. And it's, if you're wondering, no, this is not an ICAST 2024 preview. This is one of my paint jobs. Yellow Magic and Speed Crawls. No. I did it. Where is that coming from? Oh no. Oh no, it ran out of the hole. Uh-oh, we have a failure. Gross. I'm about to sand this bitch now. Fuck. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. Always does. Runny glue ran out on the tail of the bait and stuck. Dick. But the good thing about it is I've dicked up enough of them that I know how to fix them. I didn't think that one had that much in it, Burns. Honestly, if it was going to run out, I didn't predict it was going to run out of that hole. But part of it. Part of, oh, come on. This is the part that really pisses me off. Could BBC. And then I'd mess my paint up instead of messing clear coat up. I'd rather mess clear coat up. I should be able to go back and fix clear coat. Not something I want to do, but I guess that's what it's going to have to happen today. All right, get this last loser out of here. Never fails. I don't know that I don't know where you hang out, BBC, but I don't know that I've ever seen one with the fins painted over. Where does that happen at? Oh crap, I didn't get the other fins out. What a moron. Now I have to do it with one hand. I guess I don't look that close at trash, BBC. I don't zoom on trash. I never go on underground. The only time I go on underground is to look up some old swim bait drama. The gel, I have tried the gel. I don't think the gel sticks as well. I like the gel. I like how the gel performs, but I don't think it's as strong for this type of application. So I've been using this stuff pretty regularly. Is one of these taller? Yeah, yes, this one. I do like the gel. Gel works good for some stuff, not this. Painted a bait today. Bobby, send me a picture. I want to see this thing. I want to see this thing. What color did you choose? That's always the interesting thing to me. Like when guys get into painting, like what's the first color that they have to have? You know what I mean? Like when you get control, what do you do? When Bobby takes the wheel, did you Dorito chip the lip, Bobby? All right, what's this go? No, this. Getting a lot of awkward looks from my nail paint collection. You have to go late at night, Johnny, so nobody's in there creeping on you. The nail people do have some good colors. I'll give it to them. All right. Dustin, if you didn't catch any, yes. Were you successful? Come on.
These eyes don't stick to anything. To get them to stick to something. I get to see the trials and tribulations of putting this bitch together. It would help if the eye hole fit the eyeball. That's the problem I'm running into now. The eyeball does not fit the eye hole.
Go figure.
That could be one of my biggest pet peeves in bait building.
Be a good topic, AJ. Yeah, the hole is not a flat, like a perfectly round circle, and it's not. It's just not the right size. See, it just fell out. I have had guys bitch about their eyes falling out, and I typically rage in my mind because I know good and well that the eye holes don't fit the size of the eye that the baits came with. For instance, these UFOs typically are super tight. They don't fit great. Um, the BGC bluegills, the new ones, those don't fit. It's like an 8mm hole with a 10mm eye. They just kind of sit on top of the like. It's weird. What's up, Kyle? All right, we got gills. We got gills now. We're gonna hang this one up and let no leakage on this one. Oh, what a dick. What are you working on, Bobby? Bobby, you're building? Dang, Bobby is going to be real Bobby Balsa. Bobby Builder Balsa. Oh, so here's the copy of the copy of the copy. So there's a color called Japan Crawl that Lucky Craft does that I'm guessing the who's Uncle Frank work for? Pradco. Pradco Brands owns Norman. So they did a exclusive custom shop color. I guess this is it. This one. So all it is pretty much, I did the little fancy eyes. All it is basically Japan crawl. So I got this picture. How'd I do? Eerily similar. So my copy of the copy of a copy of a copy. But those turned out pretty good. I did 3, and I did them ironically in deep little ends, which I don't know if they offer. They must not have offered that in a deep little end, but just some little stuff. Burns, all yours is done. These, these, and these. So I got to get Builder Dude some stuff in the mail. All right. What is this? That is trout box. Those are all the shad. Shad. I'm gonna get them all out. We got 4 shads to do. I probably need to get off of here, and concentrate on doing this so I don't have any more flubs. If I weren't talking and I was concentrating, I probably wouldn't have had to fix the top of that bait. What is this? Hooks? Yeah. All right. All right. How did the girls react to the bass in the swimming pool? They didn't like it at first because the fish pooped in there. Had to get the poop out, and then they thought it was fun once they realized that nothing was going to happen. And I gave them a net and said, "Catch the fish," and they chased the fish around the pool. They had a good time. We actually did that. I did that probably 3 times. I had a bunch of bluegill that we were gonna. My dad was gonna use for catfish bait, but we didn't end up using them. I threw like 12 brim in the pool and gave them a little like aquarium net. Dude, they chased those brim around for like an hour, and they were small, so they were hard to catch. Pretty good move. Pretty good move to keep the kids entertained. All right. This person ordered all gray fins. Smart feller. What's up, Anthony? Why is gray good? Because they're universal. You can stick them on anything and they look good. You get the orangey red looking Hinkle fins, and the person wants a crappie, and then you put orange fins on it. It looks like shit. The only thing, like if you do like a roach or maybe a perch, something like that, they look good. But everything else, gray looks good. But typically I don't get orange fins from guys that want them specifically for a color. Like I think they order them not knowing and just like being like, oh, I'll try orange, and then they end up looking like ass. But to me, just my humble opinion. Certain baits they look good on. I have one that they'll look good on, except I don't have any. This is my favorite one of the bunch. White crappie. What are we congratulating? Let's see. I asked if I could go fishing this afternoon last night. I slept on the couch. Nice move. Nice move. Let's get this one going. Johnny, I don't think they care. Whichever one's slowest and dumbest. I don't think they have a preference. Whichever one is nearest. Whichever one is near and feels like dying. That's my opinion. Did I ever see Mickey's crappie bait? I did not. Did he ever show it? Do you have a screenshot of it, Brendan? Can you show us? Can you show the class? You watched Mercer? I did not. I haven't watched Jack for fishing lately. It just hasn't. It hasn't been amusing to me. I watched Chris Johnson. That's it. I enjoyed it. It was funny. Who was he by himself or was somebody on there? I don't know that I've ever. I don't know that I can sit through a whole Mercer episode. Starting to look like a crappie. Starting to look like a crappie, I guess. That dude is annoying. Who, Mercer? I like Mercer. I think Mercer's a nice guy. He doesn't annoy me too bad because I know he just loves fishing. He's enthusiastic. Is anybody still on board with Bass After Dark? Or have they lost everybody? The last one about George W. Perry, it looked like it was just Ken just had an axe to grind. Seemed like. Anthony, I can handle a little bit of Mercer, but the other guy, no. Even worse. Anyone like to throw a double blade buzzer? Yeah. I've thrown one around a little bit. You're talking about Biloxi Blues, Anthony? Yeah. That's the only reason. That's the main thing that turned me off to him was the fact that he forced everybody for like 2 fucking minutes to listen to that sucky ass song. Like once, twice, I'm okay with, but to make that your intro and listen to like the whole thing when you're not live, right? So me, I write some shitty song. I play it in the beginning of a live, wait for people to get on. But if you're not live, what's the point of an intro that long? You're not waiting for people. Call me crazy. Here we go. White crappie. It's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. We'll do this little thing next. This is a beat up, not beat up, but this is a Clear Lake hitch. Did 2 hitches. You should play guitar live until 15 to 20 shows up in the chat. Oh, Kyle, that's a pretty good idea. I'll just come on here and make y'all listen to shitty guitar playing and be like, you don't like that? Where'd everybody go? Where'd everybody go? You don't like my music? What do you mean? What do you mean? Go-to song to play? Probably the first thing I play when I pick up a guitar is Phantom of the Opera. Finger picked. Because if I pick up a guitar, I typically won't have a pick. And it sounds cool. Why? Because I typically don't have a pick, and it's just habit, I guess, by now. No reason. I don't know. I don't know what a good pick up a guitar. I don't have one. I don't have a go-to song. That's probably it. I probably should find a cooler one. Stick to me, you asshole. I hate these things. Stupid ass fins. Oh, my kids to learn an instrument, but they're loud enough. That might keep them quieter, Bobby. That might keep them quieter. Depends on what the instrument is, though. If you go, probably wouldn't recommend drums. Wind chimes. My brother-in-law gave me he gave one of, I think he gave the Bean a harmonica last year for Christmas. That was nice. That was nice of him. Definitely wouldn't recommend the harmonica. Kazoo, maybe? I don't know. He did do that on purpose. He did do that on purpose. Funny guy. Funny guy. But I don't know what happened to it. It's missing. We have the case, but we don't have the harmonica. And I didn't throw it away. I was actually looking for it a couple days ago, and I found the case because I was going to try and like learn something about how you actually play it because I have no clue. So I was thinking about doing a little blues traveler, but didn't figure it out. Play Twinkle Little Star on the xylophone. Could be the answer too. I always wanted, when I was a kid, I wanted to play drums. Um, But then I realized that I couldn't take my drum set with me and I could take a guitar. So I decided on guitar. But looking back, if you're a drummer and you have drumsticks, you can drum on anything. So then I realized that there was a flaw in my logic. My childhood logic was flawed. Does anybody else here play instruments well? Has anybody dedicated their life to music? I played alto sax in the marching band. That's pretty sweet. Barnesy not singing or playing. I wish I could sing. To me, singing's the biggest dick thing ever. People people will argue that you can be taught to sing. I don't believe that. I do not believe that. I have heard guys that can sing say that you can be taught to sing. I say malarkey. Like you can be, I think you can be taught to be like maybe do something. But like my wife, no amount of training is going to teach her to sing ever. Just not possible. Kyle can shred a little bit. Play the skin flute. Later, Anthony. Guitar, bass, and drums. It's a lot. Marching bands are badass. Didn't see it much being from the Northeast. Saw it when I joined the military down south. Yeah, the bands down here are like if you're in the band down here, you get to do some cool shit. If you want to see cool marching band stuff, Google Mobile, Alabama marching band Mardi Gras. No, Brian. It would be considered tone deaf. Tone deaf. Deaf. Excuse me. All right, one more and I'll be done with this crap until I go fix that other one. I wish I could sing though. But even if I could, playing the guitar and singing, I don't see how people do that, dude. My brain doesn't really work that way. I've never understood how people were able to do that. Like James Hetfield,
like he's such an awesome rhythm player. How he's able to like keep his like crazy ass fast rhythm and sing really blows my mind. Really blows my mind. Oh yeah, Brian jacked his rib up. All right, here's a little roachy looking thing. Last one. Another hitch, just a different variation. Not much to it. There's actually a lot to it, like how I painted it, but it doesn't. It doesn't look like a whole lot. It looks like the picture, wherever those are. So this is this one. I didn't get to see the head, but this is kind of what that one is. And then there's that other one. And then this is there's the other one. I painted that one. He did send me this picture as a reference, and it kind of offended me. And I didn't really do what he said. We'll see if I catch shit over this. So this picture says one shad in a white crappie. Well, if you look at this fish that somebody shittily painted, it's a black crappie. If you look at this one, black crappie. So I bypassed both of those offensive pictures and painted him a white crappie. Brennan can do impersonations. Who's your best impersonation, Brendan? If you had to make a living doing an impersonation of somebody, who would it be? Can you impersonate me? If you had a project, like if I gave you some homework and said, BBC, impersonate me. Brian, have you been doodling lately? Have you been coloring lately? It's someone quiet. I bet it's someone quiet. You're funny, Bobby. You are funny. What is that? Come on, loser. Go in there. Could probably do me. That would be funny. Did you say your best yet? The blacksmith that does our horseshoes is my best. What about famous people?
What about like Matthew McConaughey? He's got a pretty distinguishable accent that lots of people do. Could you do a McConaughey? Christopher Walken, that'd be a good one. All right, we gotta get BBC. When are you doing your next live stream? We gotta do the. You gotta do the. You gotta do the accent episode. Ever since I dropped my thick Boston accent, my voice sounds different. I catch shit when I visit home. You think you're better? I can't even do it. I need Brendan here to do a Boston accent. I remember when my sister's family went up to Boston. The only thing they were, the one thing they were amused by was "Park the car." Everybody came home saying that. Park the car. Dude, this shit's worse than painting them. I'd rather paint 100 of these and put fins in 5 of them. Boston. You think New Orleans accents are easy? I would think that would be insanely hard. What about a Cajun? Can you do a Cajun accent, BBC? All right, Dunzo. Joe Pesci. That's a good one. That is a good one. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go. I gotta go do some stuff. I gotta go buy the. No, I probably won't do that today. I need to Burns. I need to send you something. A bait from the store. Oh, I have a fish to paint. A buddy of mine caught a big one out in Texas. Wants me to paint it. So I have a 8-pound replica mount in the shop. Wicked big. All right, dudes, let me get out of here. Thanks for sticking around and talking to me while I dicked up some baits with super glue. We'll chat next time and see what everybody's got going on. Have a good rest of your weekend. Adios.